Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Pisces, our card tonight is, yes, the 7 of Discs, which does have to do with failure, or at least feelings of failure, okay? And let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at the tea leaves and kind of see, what does this mean? How is this going to relate? And so, if you would like to comment, or subscribe, I would love for you to do any or all of those. It's free to subscribe, and also I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Absolutely, I read them all. Okay. So it looks like we have a dog. A nice dog here. We have the face, okay, the eyes, the little nose. Here's kind of the mouth would be right down in here. Here's the body right here. Okay. Now below it, we have, it looks like a person here with their arms raised up and kind of offering up, it looks like a flower. Now, we also have a crescent moon, okay, in the mouth of the dog. So let's talk about the symbolism of the dog. Now, this could be protection. It could be guardianship. Often, it is about loyalty, about having somebody or being somebody in somebody's life or in your life, right, that is completely best friends, family, loyal, devoted to this relationship. And holding the moon in the mouth, to me, the moon, we know the archetype within tarot, kind of this, well, sometimes a feeling of dread or the shadowy sides of things. But it could also be, and this is how I like to envision this moon energy, is surreal, absurd, distorted. Like you are living in a dream world, right? Where how the world seems beneath the sunlight, right? Bright, illuminated, everything's pretty clear, cut and dry. The moon, however, right, dark at night, the light of the moon guiding you, the shadows seem longer and things kind of form into whatever your imagination can kind of think of it as, right? So there's this kind of a bit of an illusion, but it's not just fake, right? It's not like this is some kind of misguiding, trying to show you something that isn't real. No, this is the other side of things. This reminds us that even when we think we know something or someone, there's also that lunar side, right? That night side, that hidden side. And so we have also down here the person who is offering up the flowers and also a fish, so money, okay? And I feel like in this situation, it is kind of an exchange of energies. And I feel like you like to be with this person likes to be with you, because when you are together, you get to be more yourself than you are most of the time with other, people at your work, your family, maybe your community, right? We all wear different hats and personas, depending on where we are and what we're dealing with. And I know that's not a popular thing to say. We all want to believe we're just who we are all the time. Is that real? I don't know. I don't think so. Not very many people. And I'll tell you what, sometimes when we are the kind of person that is not adapting to the context of the situation, it can make things a little more difficult, right? I always think of that Dave Chappelle skit of when keeping it real goes wrong, right? Sometimes, yeah, we have to kind of, put on the mask. Sometimes we have to be that person at work that, no, we don't really necessarily dwell in that way in our home. Right? The things that I talk about at home aren't necessarily the things that I want to bring into, a public environment, a work environment, right? And so I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like this is your person, you're one person. Maybe you have a couple. Maybe you're really lucky. You have like 2, 3 people that you can just be fully yourself with. But this person, for sure, is your person, okay? And you are theirs. And there's a strong bond here that cannot be broken, okay? And I see you coming together, exploring the depths of your imagination. Being all of the things, saying what's on your mind, not watering it down. You don't feel like you have to. And that's a wonderful thing. Now, I also think that you too have the capacity to be making money together. And that's why there's that fish. Okay, so we have a big tooth here. Look at this. It looks like a molar. Look at those long pieces of tooth. Now, it also has a smiley face. So I'm going to say if you have been having dental problems or some kind of pain, whatever it is, it will subside soon. Okay, the thing will be corrected. Maybe you've been putting off getting like a filling or a root canal or whatever, because it is so expensive, my goodness. But now you found your way into being able to deal with whatever's going on, okay, with that dental stuff. And I see that happening pretty quickly here, okay? Now we also have, it looks like a person standing here, and I can see them. I'm almost imagining trimming bushes. And then it looks like, it looks like a bush right here, right? Trimming on the bush right here. But then you turn it and it looks like a person standing with their arms out, like over here. So I do feel like, and we have an axe as well. So I do feel like there's going to be some outdoor maintenance happening here. Now, if you are in the northern hemisphere, we're going into autumn. So there's a lot of things to be cleaning up for winter. And if you are in the southern hemisphere, it is, I'm sure, gardening season, farming season, cleaning up and getting the yard, back into shape season. There goes my thing. It rolled way underneath the table. So I could see you being outside working on that. Okay. Now we have, it looks like, and I'm seeing a deer right here. You can see the eyes. Here's the nose right here. The ear kind of coming down. Now, we also have a person, it looks like, hanging on to the, kind of almost like the head, right? The hand up here. And the person is behind, over in here, okay? Kind of riding on the back of this thing. And so for me, the deer is a sacred being, right? The most sacred deer. We've heard of that before, right? And so when we have these moments where we encounter the sacred deer, this is a time of decision. And I feel like whatever has been making you feel kind of stagnant, and that's what I think it is. There's a sense of things just getting old, right? What you had been doing and it felt like it was really working, it was getting some traction, you were feeling good in your life. Suddenly, the seasons have changed. And I feel you going through the motions. I feel you, maybe even kind of having trouble kind of following through, right? Maybe it's work, maybe it's at home, maybe it's your relationships, maybe it's all of it. But I don't think that this is necessarily a bad thing. I feel like this is kind of the discomfort that happens before a shift has to happen, right? Where you get to a point and you realize, okay, I don't want to live like this. I think that I need to change something because everything else in my life feels less meaningful because of something central to my life. So what do I mean by that? Yeah, like maybe you have a job you just really don't like. And maybe it's like a toxic environment. And you can see it kind of spreading into your psyche and affecting other parts of your life where, yeah, it sucks. You spend 8 hours in an environment where, people don't get along. Everybody's kind of rude to each other. The work doesn't feel meaningful. You're just kind of going through the motions of it all. And, you punch out and head home and you're in traffic and it's on and on and on. And finally you get home and you just, how do you muster that good attitude? How do you muster, the positivity or even just the motivation, right? To be doing something beyond the work, right? The mundane work. And so I feel like, and maybe this is your situation, maybe it's something else in your life. It could be a relationship that is kind of causing a ripple effect throughout your life or whatever it might be. But I feel like you're at this point where it's kind of like, I got to do something because this is it's not working for me anymore. And even though in some way it kind of does, it feels like a failure. That's not the best way to look at it, right? I know we want to critique ourselves. We want to, kind of, okay, this is where I really messed up or I'm really not, doing so well. And we can really pile on, and get into a place where it's not as helpful. But let's look at this as an opportunity. And to be thankful that we are aware enough, right? There's an awareness that is allowing you to even realize that you're living a life, or a part of your life anyways, that does not serve you well, okay? Because there are plenty of people in this world that never figure out, why do I feel so incomplete? Why do I feel, like every day is so difficult? Why can't I just get into the groove of things? you know? And I feel like you do have that awareness, not only the awareness, but the want to make a change, okay? So I want to take a look here. We have a mountain, okay? We also have a bird up here sitting, kind of just waiting to bring us a message. And I feel like we had a family member here who was really drawn to snow. And I say this because it looks like a person sledding. We also have the mountain, right? And this to me indicates the holy mountain, the great work of your life, right? Spiritual, psychic, emotional, interior, that work, okay? And I feel like we have somebody in your life who I imagine you knew, although it could be that this is an ancestor that you never met, but I do feel like you probably did. There feels like there's like a real direct connection. And I believe that they have transitioned. They are no longer with us in physical form. But it doesn't feel like this was a sad thing, because I think they got to a good age, right? Maybe even 100 years old, who knows? But I feel like this is somebody who is very settled in their passing. This is not necessarily somebody who is like clinging to, they don't want to go. I didn't have enough time, I wanted to do more, that kind of thing. No. But this is a person who watches over you, for sure. Okay, so you had a close relationship in some capacity. Okay, and I feel them really kind of coming through and being part of this journey with you. I feel like this is a very supportive voice, right? And not only that, I feel like this is somebody who shows up in your dreams and kind of like lifting the veil back a little bit, showing you sacred imagery, symbols, maybe even like a little whisper of a word, and you wake up and you're like, oh, I got to go find a book on, whatever this is, whatever they said, and going down those rabbit holes, right, of inquiry and learning so much along your path. And I think this is something that really feels close and beloved and sacred to you, okay? Now, I just want to kind of look at this next period of time here, and we'll just kind of see, like, how are things going to turn around in the next couple weeks? And let's go ahead. We're going to pick 3 of them. We'll do this one. Okay, kind of a show off. Okay, we have loss. And let's do this. Okay. So I feel like we have a younger person who maybe has gone through a loss, like losing a parent, losing a good friend, maybe a sibling, a really close bond that they had, okay? Now, I feel like this has sent them into a really rebellious period of time here, okay? We're going to do 3 more cards just to kind of get some more clarity. Now, the ostentation, that's why I'm thinking this is a younger person. This is somebody who really is still in that phase of their life where they're very worried about their image. And listen, that's all of us these days, especially because we're on the internet, right? And we are available to people 24/7 almost, right? It feels like it. And so we're all kind of image conscious to some degree, right? But there's something about being young, right? Being 15 years old, being 19 years old, being 23 years old, whatever, where you can't help but be kind of really worried about how people perceive you, what kind of vibe you're giving off, all of that, okay? So, yes, I think this is a younger person. They've been through a loss. They're going through a rebellious stage here. Now, we have negotiation and we have flirtation. Okay, and one last one to kind of control. Okay, so I feel like you are kind of maybe a mentor. This maybe is even your own child. I don't know exactly, but I feel like you are kind of a voice of reason. And I can see you really trying to get in there and being like, hey, I understand you're grieving, you're going through a lot, but you're gonna, if you continue down this path, whatever that is, not gonna be pretty, right? So I feel like there's some degree of negotiation, because I really do feel like, and we have flirtation, and this feels like they are really flirting with disaster. This is a kid that feels like they are living life in the fast lane. And I feel like for you, it's kind of heartbreaking to see somebody that you care about. Maybe this is like a friend's child or, a nephew, niece, whoever it is, right? This is not what you want for them, okay? So there really is this kind of, not that you want to control them, but I think that you want to lead them towards kind of a mindset of being able to control themselves, to have some control or perceived control in their life, right? And so, yeah, I could see you trying to really mentor them, check in with them, try to talk to them like a human being so they can hear you. And, I think that at times that can be really frustrating, but I think it's something that for you, so worth it, right? It is a worthy endeavor. Now we're going to do 3 rolls of the die, and this is a huge die. It has 100 sides to it, and I'm going to pick 3, the universe is going to pick 3 lucky numbers. So I'm just going to roll the thing. All right, 34. 34. And it looks like 86, 34, 86, 69, 84. No. What was the first one? I already forgot. I've been like, I did it on one other reading. I didn't even mention it. I just didn't even say them again. I got to write them down as I go. I do. I have too many. I'm not good with numbers. My whole life, it's like I mix them up. I mix them. It takes me forever to memorize like a phone number, some kind of account number or anything like that. It's ridiculous. So anyways, 69 is the last lucky number. All right, so we have our inner child oracle cards. And I'm just we're going to flip through. This will be like a nice little punctuation at the end of the reading. And we'll stop where it feels right. I'm going to flip it over. 29. Run wild. Let your inner wild child run forth. Let your inner wild child run forth. All right. Excellent. Okay, so no, that's not how I start that. I want to tell you I love you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. That is so rude. I'm just like, okay, so now we're done. If you want to like, if you want to subscribe, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I like to tell you I love you first because I really do. I am so thankful for each and every one of you that come and watch the videos. If you comment or not, if you like the thing or not, I'm still very thankful for you. And it's always my greatest honor to be able to bring you these messages. So, yeah, if you do want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, definitely do that. And we'll talk in a few days. I love you. Take care of yourself. Good night.